What's up, YouTube? Tomasello here. With Finding with My Family opening, well, it's technically out now, but it's opening wider this week. But anyway, with Finding with My Family out technically now, since besides it starring Dwayne Johnson and Florence Pugh, the film also features Vince Vaughn. And I gotta say, Vince Vaughn, I think is a really terrific actor. I mean, the guy could show that he could do comedy, he could do drama, suspense, thrillers. I mean, I think he's a terrific actor. I know that might be unpopular to say because there's not really a whole lot of Vince Vaughn fans out there. But I mean, he's been in tons of really good feature films over the years. So with that being said, here's my 10 favorite Vince Vaughn movies. All right, coming in at number 10 will be will be Delivery Man. Sorry, I almost said F is for Family. He's good on that, but I'm talking about movies anyway. I was on a binge of F is for Family, and I simply love that show, by the way. Anyway, lost track here. Anyway, coming in at number 10 is Delivery Man. Now, Delivery Man is a American remake of a foreign film, and I really dug Delivery Man. I thought it was really cute. It was charming. Vince Vaughn, I thought he was really terrific here. I mean, it's a straight up comedy, but it also has like lots of heart. You know, and in it, Vince Vaughn plays a slacker named David Wozniak, who pretty much like drives a delivery truck for his family's company. But however, he learns that he is like the biological father of more than 500 offsprings, and like many of them are suing to learn his identity. And he like of course decides to hold himself accountable for his actions. And not to mention, his girlfriend, played by Kobe Smulders, also announces that she's pregnant. So, yeah, I mean, this is pretty interesting. I mean, Delivery Man is not really a great movie by any means, but I really dug it. It has lots of heart. Vince Vaughn, I thought, was terrific here. It's directed by Ken Scott, who, by the way, also directed the foreign version that this movie is based on. Yeah, I think the foreign version is, of course, Starbucks. I think can't remember the actual name, but and also Ken Scott also directed Vince Vaughn in another movie called Unfinished Business, which was decent, but Delivery Man is actually a better film. And besides Vince Vaughn, it also had Chris Pratt about a year before he did Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, Kobe Smulders was good. You also had Britt Robertson. I really dug this movie. I mean, if you guys never seen Delivery Man by now, definitely check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Coming in at number 9 is The Dilemma. Now, this movie might be a bit unpopular just to say, but The Dilemma I thought was pretty funny. It was directed by Ron Howard and starred Vince Vaughn and Kevin James, who are like partners in a auto design firm. And so one day, Vince Vaughn's character Ronnie spots Kevin James's Nick character's wife out with another man played by Channing Tatum. And so, like in the process of investigating the possible affair, he pretty much learns that Nick also has a few secrets of his own. And so the whole movie, it's called The Dilemma. I mean, it's not called Dilemma for a reason, you know. And besides Kevin James and Vince Vaughn, you also had Winona Ryder. Jennifer Connelly was in this. Oh, Queen Latifah. I really love this movie. I mean, it's not really great by any means, but I thought it had some nice laughs. It had like a nice charm to it. Good cast. I mean, I really dug this film. If you guys never checked out The Dilemma yet, definitely give it a go. I think you'll enjoy it. And this is actually the movie that made me think that Channing Tatum could do comedy really well. Then, of course, since then, he, of course, went on to do 21 Jump Street and a few other comedies. Yeah, I mean, definitely this one's a worth a watch. All right, coming in at number 8 is The Internship. Now, this movie stars Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, who pretty much are like unemployed, and so they end up work. They pretty much end up working for Google. It's a really funny film. I mean, it's directed by Sean Levy, and I mean Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson was both really funny here. You also had Dylan O'Brien, Rose Byrne was in this. It's a really funny gem. And it shows that Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, these two work together perfectly. I mean, if you guys never checked out The Internship, definitely give it a go. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, coming in at number 7 is actually more of a dramatic performance of his, and that will be Hacksaw Ridge, directed by Mel Gibson. Here, Vince Vaughn plays the drill sergeant named Sergeant Howell. I mean, when they announced that Vince Vaughn was going to play a drill sergeant, I thought that was a weird cast choice. But when I saw Vince Vaughn in this, I thought he was terrific. He played that role really well. He was really intense as that role. I mean, some of the lines that Vince Vaughn used was actually pretty funny at times. I mean, the whole movie is, of course, a drama, but there are some comedic moments with Vince Vaughn in this. And I mean, Hacksaw Ridge is a terrific movie overall. I mean, you got Andrew Garfield. Mel Gibson directed it. It was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. It's a really terrific, triumphal film. I mean, if you guys never checked out Hacksaw Ridge yet, I highly recommend it. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, coming in at number 6 will be The Watch. Now, this is, of course, the movie that starred Vince Vaughn with Ben Stiller, Jonah Hill, and Richard Ayoade from the It Crowd fame, who like form a neighborhood watch with like and they're also armed with like flashlights, walkie talkies, and all that. But I mean, it's pretty much where where there's like a killing spree, and the neighborhood watch program have to find out who's doing the killings. And this is of course a spoiler, but it's in the trailer, so I guess. And the movie got released years ago, like 2012. So hey, if you haven't seen it yet, anyway, the killers in this that they're pretty much hunting for turns out to be aliens. That's right, aliens. This is pretty much an alien comedy, and The Watch is hysterical. At first, the movie was supposed to be called Neighborhood Watch, but because of the George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin thing, they decided to rename it to The Watch. But anyway, it's a really funny film. I mean, besides Stiller, Vaughn, Hill, and Richard, you also got a few other people like Billy Crudup is in this. Rosemary DeWitt is in this film. It's really funny. I mean, if you guys never checked out The Watch yet, definitely give it a go. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, coming in at number 5 will be Dodgeball, a true underdog story. This movie was directed by Rawson Marshall Durbert, who of course went on to direct that Dwayne Johnson film Central Intelligence. He recently did Skyscraper. He also did that really funny movie We're the Millers. He did a pretty good job at directing this film. And Dodgeball is hysterical. I mean, it has some pretty funny quotes in it. Of course, you got it's another film that features Ben Stiller in it. And who knew that a movie about people playing dodgeball could work out well? I mean, it's always nice to see a different, because we got so many football movies. There was always so many baseball, basketball movies. There was barely any movies with dodgeball in that. Like this, I mean, there's of course Billy Madison that features dodgeball, but there's not really many movies that focus on the game of dodgeball. And Dodgeball is a really funny one. I mean, Ben Stiller, I thought he was terrific in this as the villain. And I mean, you also had Justin Long. He was in this. Ben Stiller's his wife, Christine Taylor, was in this. You even had a funny cameo by Chuck Norris. You had a few other cameos in this as well. I mean, if you guys never had a chance to check out Dodgeball, definitely give it a go. I think you'll enjoy it. And I've been hearing words that they might actually do a sequel to this. If they do another Dodgeball, I'm there. I'm definitely down to see another one. It'll be cool seeing Ben Stiller reprise his role. That would be pretty cool to watch. But anyway. Alright. Coming in at number 4 is Swingers. Now, this movie is directed by Doug Liman, who, of course, went on to direct stuff like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Edge of Tomorrow. He's doing that movie, Chaos Walking, which I don't think it's getting released. But Swingers is really funny. I mean, here it stars Jon Favreau, who's pretty much who is struggling to both boost his comic career and get over his last relationship. And so his self-proclaimed master of seduction and his buddies, played by Vince Vaughn, tries to show him how to make connection and get the attention of many women. And so he also Jon Favreau's my character also meets a gorgeous down-to-earth girl named Lorraine, played by Heather Graham, and sparks are very connection. I mean, this is pretty much Jon Favreau's breakout film as well. I mean, he of course directed before, but I mean, as acting, this was pretty much Jon Favreau's first major involvement with acting. And him and Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn, these two work together really well. Kind of shame that Jon Favreau never got Vince Vaughn a part in the upcoming Lion King, Jungle Book, or Iron Man. That would be cool to watch, but anyway, Vince Vaughn, I mean, he was a real scene stealer in this. I mean, if you guys never checked out Swingers by now, definitely check Swingers out. I think you'll enjoy it. Coming in at number 3 is Starsky and Hutch, which is, of course, based on the classic TV program. And Starsky and Hutch also teams Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson together. And Vince Vaughn pretty much plays the bad guy here. Kind of funny how in Dodgeball, which starred Vince Vaughn as a good guy, in Dodgeball it had featured Ben Stiller as the bad guy to Vince Vaughn, and in Starsky and Hutch that features Vince Vaughn as the bad guy to Ben Stiller. That's kind of interesting reversal there. And Vince Vaughn, I mean, this was kind of the movie that made me become a fan of his, to be honest. Yeah, I just love Vince Vaughn in this movie. He's probably one of my favorite comedy movie villains. He was really funny in this. And Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson together in this was pretty fun. It was directed by Todd Phillips, who also directed Vince Vaughn in another movie I'm going to mention here in a bit. Not to mention, you got Snoop Dogg as Huggy Bear. You also have Juliette Lewis. Jason Bateman was in this. Will Ferrell. Really good cast. I mean, yeah, if you guys never checked out the Starsky and Hutch movie, check it out. It's a really funny gem. And too bad that Ben Stiller Company never went ahead and did a sequel to this, because I'll be down to see another one. I mean, I know James Gunn was supposed to do a TV show of Starsky and Hutch, a TV reboot. But to be honest, I would have rather seen a sequel to the Ben Stiller one, because that one was really hysterical. Coming in at number 2 is, speaking of Todd Phillips, coming in at number 2 is Old School, which, like Starsky and Hutch, this was directed by Todd Phillips. It featured Will Ferrell. Juliette Lewis was in this. I mean, come on. Will Ferrell as Frank the Tank is an iconic character. You also got Jeremy Piven. Luke Wilson was in this. I mean, it's pretty much three grown men who decide to go back to college and all. It's a really hysterical comedy. Todd Phillips did a really great job at directing. I really like the chemistry between Luke Wilson, Vince Vaughn, and Will Ferrell. And too bad we never got around to see a sequel to this. I know, like years ago, Will Ferrell and company was talking about doing a sequel, but it never really came to fruition. I would have been down to see a sequel. I mean, it would be cool seeing a sequel now. I mean, see what Will Ferrell and the gang have been up to all these years. But I don't think it'll ever happen. But anyway, if you guys never checked out Old School, it's a early 2000s comedy classic. All right, coming in at number one is probably a obvious one, and that is Wedding Crashers, starring Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, who are pretty much divorcees, and they actually mainly crash weddings, so they could like drink booze, sleep with beautiful women, and Wedding Crashers is hysterical. I mean, Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn together in this was pretty funny. He also had Christopher Walken, Bradley Cooper, Rachel McAdams was in this. Who else? Oh yeah, Isaac Fisher. It's hysterical. It has some really memorable lines in this. I mean, good performances by Wilson and Vaughn. Those two really work together well. I mean, when Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn pop up at something, they nail it together. And not to mention Will Ferrell is also in this as well, so there's that. Yeah, I mean, Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller, Will Ferrell, they're all pretty much like the frat pack. Like, once in a while, they'll pop up in the film together here and there. And, I mean, Wedding Crashers is no different. I mean, it's pretty much one of my favorite wedding movies as well. It's really funny. I mean, if you guys never checked out Wedding Crashers, check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. And I'm still wondering if we're ever going to get that sequel that we were promised. Because I remember a couple years back, I think it was either maybe 2 years ago, that there was like rumors that we might be getting a sequel to this. It'll be cool seeing Will Ferrell. It'll be cool seeing Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn reprise their roles because them both in Wedding Crashers was awesome. I mean, it'd be cool seeing them crash another wedding. Or maybe a funeral crasher. Them, crashing either a funeral or graduation or whatever. It'll be cool seeing another one. All right, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Number 10, Delivery Man. 9, The Dilemma. 8, The Internship. 7, Hacksaw Ridge. 6, The Watch. 5, Dodgeball. 4, Swingers. 3, Starsky and Hutch. 2, Old School. 1, Wedding Crashers. Now, there's a few other ones I could have added. Let's see. This is more of a TV, but I mean, Vince Vaughn as Chet Stevenson on F is for Family is hysterical. I mean, I mainly talk about movies here, but I'm gonna just throw in F is for Family. I mean, if you guys need to check out F is for Family. It's the funniest animated show I've seen on Netflix. And Vince Vaughn, that was a cool addition. And also, not to mention, he was also good on True Detective Season 2. I mean, even people who didn't like True Detective will also agree that, Vince Vaughn was really good on Season 2. Anyway, now to talk about his films. Let's see. The Breakup with Jennifer Aniston was good. Couples Retreat is a good one. Lost World Jurassic Park he was good in. I didn't like the movie, but he was actually good in it. And that's Brought in Cell Block 99. That movie is brutal. He was actually good in the remake of Psycho. I mean, that's more of a guilty pleasure of mine. Rudy he was in. Four Christmases. Unfinished Business is a good one. Be Cool. Let's see. Definitely Not Fred Claus. Term Life is decent. Domestic Disturbance with John Travolta is a good one. He had part in Anchorman 1 and 2. Let me leave you guys. What are some of your favorite Vince Vaughn movies? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications.